boys. They're reacting to it's a new one. Well, not new, but I just haven't reacted to one of these videos in a long time. Every most disturbing missing children in 16 minutes. Every missing children's case in 16 minutes. Some of these don't make any fucking sense because, mind you, it was bright, broad daylight. So, what the fuck?
Madeline McCann. You're on vacation with the entire family in Portugal, and the only thing on your mind is to make the most out of the break. So you go out with your friends for a friendly chit-chat over dinner, leaving your kids in the resort apartment. Madeline McCann, at 3 years old, is the oldest, but you think she's old enough to hold the fort down and keep an eye on her younger siblings while you're out for a quick dinner dash. After all, the restaurant was just 55 meters away, which made the dinner look like a trip to the neighbor's house. Plus, the parents were like annoying kids who always ask, "Are we there yet?" during a road trip because they periodically went back to the apartment to check upon the kids. But during one of the checkups, Madeline wasn't in bed. This began a huge search that captured attention all around the world. The police in Portugal, along with detectives from other countries, including the UK, worked hard to find her. But the case got complicated enough that the police and the media blamed the McCanns for being as irresponsible as the parents from Home Alone. But they had nothing to pin Madeline's disappearance on them. This led to a bad game of Where's Waldo, forcing authorities and investigators to search the entire continent. The theory was that she could have been a victim of a large kidnapping network, or even a sexual offender. For many years, there were no leads or security footage available. The biggest break in the case happened in 2020 when the German police identified a German suspect already imprisoned for a previous sexual offense. Technology betrayed this man when the police used his cell phone's geolocation pinpoint that he was around 5 minutes away from where Madeline was last seen. It was almost as if his cell phone volunteered to testify. While there's no conclusion to the case yet, the German police believes he may have assaulted and killed the girl before dumping her body in the nearby dam. The Beaumont children. It's the middle of an Australian summer in 1966, and 3 siblings named Jane, Arna, and Grant thought they needed to cool the heat off. The Beaumont siblings went to the beach at Glenelg near Adelaide, South Australia.
But it is facts though. Unless she was like aware. You know if there are some kids that are smart, there are some kids that are just fucking dumb. Dumb isn't like, okay, they're not really like it's not like they can't talk to you and have a one-on-one conversation. They can't cook for themselves. They can't do this and that, They can't watch over. Kids like that who are like aware and smart. I don't know if she was any of that, because why did your 2 other siblings go to sleep or lay in bed, but you decided to roam? What the hell? You know what I mean? And it's like the parents as well. Like, come on, man. It's a fucking 3-year-old, dog. A 3-year-old ain't gonna be the brightest, man. You feel me? So it's like, you gotta, like, I don't know. They should have just stayed with the children, to be honest with you. Or brought the children with. No. Just stay with the children. Oh, that's scary. Because leaving them, bro. Nah. That was a bad idea to begin with, dude.
Yeah, but the siblings vanished without a trace, instead of returning home with sandy towels and off. The Beaumont siblings went to the beach at Glenelg near Adelaide, South Australia, but the siblings...
If they disappeared at night, then okay. If they disappeared in the morning, chill, bro. This broad daylight shit getting crazy. There's no way niggas is like... There's no way kids is really getting MIA'd in the morning, dog. What the hell?
Vanished without a trace, instead of returning home with sandy towels and questionable tan lines. The disappearance led to one of Australia's investigations.
Here's how the average man's life would change if he never saw an ad again. Day 1, he would install Pi on his computer without spending a dime.
On the day of their disappearance, witnesses saw the kids playing and being friendly with a tall, blonde man. This suggested they might have known him, or that he had a unique gift of making kids forget all about stranger danger. Maybe he promised them ice cream, or a class in sandcastle making. To make matters worse, the kids were seen buying snacks with a £1 note, even though their mother had only given them a few coins, suggesting someone was handing out free cash to kids to gain their trust. Despite extensive searches and numerous tips from the public, no trace of the children was found. Over the years, theories and suspects popped up like seagulls at a picnic, ranging from a local businessman to a convicted child killer named Spencer von Einem. However, not even Sherlock Holmes would know where to start because the police couldn't find any evidence. Then came another theory, which claims the kids got a bit too interested in the idea of being future engineers and got too close to the heavy machinery during the construction of the Adelaide Oval and got buried under concrete. This probably explains why there were no clues. Decades have passed and there are zero leads, but the case did affect Australian society, leading to more protective rules. Suddenly, be home by dark turned from a suggestion to a strict rule. Kyron Horman. Imagine being a young...
What the hell? There's no... It's like an entire family disappearing instantaneously with no trace. Like, whoa, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, there's just no way. Also, they said a tall, blonde man approached him. That guy probably killed him, bro. I'm just being real. I don't know who he is, but he probably killed him, though.
7-year-old boy excited to attend school to present your science fair project on tree frogs. Your stepmother, Terry Horman, takes you to school to ensure your frogs don't skip out. However, instead of coming out of the fair as the winner of the blue ribbon, you don't even come home. That's the story of the 2010 disappearance of Kyron Horman, a boy from Portland, Oregon. Kyron's disappearance alarmed the rest of his family, prompting them to contact the school. Surprisingly, he had been marked absent the entire day. Security cameras also didn't show him entering and leaving school that day. That was when Terry became the evil Disney stepmother in this story, as she turned into the top suspect. She claimed she saw Kyron entering his classroom, despite school records showing otherwise. Regardless of what Terry claims, the entire city mounted a huge search for the boy, searching the area like an Easter egg hunt, but they found no clues about his possible whereabouts, turning the investigation toward Terry again. Terry denied any involvement, but there were clues that pointed to the possibility that she hired someone to harm her husband, Kyron's dad, which could mean she also intended to harm Kyron. This made the entire family reunion situation awkward enough for Kyron's dad to divorce her. Of course, Terry's behavior during the investigation and her failed lie detector tests didn't win her any fans. This included Desiree Young, Kyron's mom, who decided to sue her for kidnapping. But Desiree later dropped the lawsuit, likely because she wanted the police to solve the case instead of turning it into a courtroom drama. Ashley Freeman and Loria Bible.
She definitely did something to her child. If the school has no video of the child entering, the teachers, I'm not even gonna say students, so the teachers or any of the adults on that campus have no, no recollection. Like, okay, we didn't see Kyron enter the school. So what are you talking about? No records, no videotape, and you are the only witness. Nah, man. They fucking killed her kid. The fact that she almost had a hitman to take her husband out, you know what I'm saying? Kind of seals the deal even some more.
Being 16 was anything but sweet for Ashley Freeman when she celebrated her birthday. In December 1999, Ashley and her friend, Loria Bible, had a slumber party at the Freeman home to celebrate. But instead of pillow fights and talks about boys, the party literally burned the house down. The sleepover turned into a crime scene. After the fire was put out, authorities discovered the bodies of Ashley's parents, Danny and Kathy Freeman, inside the ruins. Both had been shot before the fire. Initially, it was unclear whether the girls were also victims of the fire, but bodies don't easily disappear like ghosts, even if they were turned to ash. This led to an investigation that turned every stone, only for the case to turn cold. They couldn't find clues about the girls, or whether or not they snuck out in the dead of the night for some high school party. They also failed to find clues related to who Ashley's parents or where the two teenagers were. Everyone was stuck playing detective in a real-life version of Clue. It took nearly 20 years for them to find anything related to the disappearance of the girls. Witnesses claimed that a man named Ronnie Busick and his two other companions bragged about assaulting and killing the two girls. Busick was finally arrested. Unfortunately, the two other guys he was with were already 6 feet under, unable to pay for their crimes even if someone dug them out. Busick pleaded guilty to the incident. The motive for killing the Freeman family was a drug dispute he thought could be solved with death and destruction.
Are you a Roblox fanatic? Microsoft Rewards has a brand new way for you to earn digital gift cards from Roblox.
Despite the progress in the case, the bodies of the two girls were never found, and though Busick was sentenced to 10 years in prison, he got out in 38 months for good behavior, something he should have done before he and his
10 years from murder is insane, bro. What the fuck? most places you'll get like 45 to life. I've been hearing about there was a kid who crashed a car and killed a couple people because he was going crazy fast. He was a rich kid, and he only got I think 11 or 10 years in jail, or months, or yeah, months or years. I'm like, what the hell? If you murder someone right now, you're not getting 10 years. You're gonna get 45 to life every time, bro. Every time, bro. But 10 months is utter and pure insanity, bro. I can't even hold you.
His friends kidnapped and killed Ashley and Loria. Jacob Wetterling. Let's say you're Jacob Wetterling's brother, as you and another friend are cycling home from a nearby convenience store on October 22nd, 1989. Just as you're close to home, a masked gunman appears and asks your age. He leaves you and your friend alone, but runs away with the 11-year-old Jacob. The masked man disappeared with Jacob, launching an investigation that rallied the community like a true crime version of a town.
I mean, if we were to try and stop him, oh, hold on.
89. Just as you're close to home, a masked gunman appears and asks your age. He leaves you and your friend alone, but runs away with the 11-year-old Jacob.
Depending how, bro, this could go left. This could go bad really quickly, because depending on, if it's a masked gunman, unless you got a gun, bro, don't try and stop the dude, man. Unless you're strong enough, even if you're strong enough, don't try and stop the dude, man. Like, he'll pull the trigger before you can really do anything for real, you know. And you may or may not die, depending on how many times he shoots you and where he shoots you. And it's like, bro, like, I'm pretty sure those two were teenagers, so I'm not losing my life, bro. But you're also not taking my brother, you know what I'm saying? Or whoever this little kid is, the friend of my little brother, or, yeah, you're not doing that shit, bro. But I couldn't fucking do anything there, dude. Like, I'm just gonna die just for him to still take the kid and me left bleeding on the floor. Like, it's like the worst cutscene in a video game of all time, dude.
The masked man disappeared with Jacob, launching an investigation that rallied the community like a true crime version of a town hall meeting. They all failed to find clues that would have immediately allowed them to find Jacob. Despite the initial failure, Patty and Jerry Waterling, Jacob's parents, became superheroes for children everywhere by becoming advocates for child safety. They helped establish new laws that required to set up child sex offender registries, believing whoever abducted Jacob was a previously convicted child sex offender.
Definitely was, man. Not gonna lie, definitely was. Well, yeah.
To the party, but it was the best dish served because 27 years later, the family finally got answers. It was an internet blogger who connected the dots the police couldn't connect. He found out that there had been similar incidents involving an armed man and several boys living close to where Waterling disappeared. The clues pointed to Danny Heinrich, a person who had been a suspect early on but had never been charged. But because of the statute of limitations, which is a fancy way of saying the police took their sweet time to arrest him, he couldn't be charged with the Waterling disappearance. Fortunately for the police, they found child porn in his home, leading to his arrest. And as part of a plea deal, he confessed to the kidnapping and murder of Jacob. Heinrich led investigators to Jacob's remains, finally giving the Wetterling family some answers, though they were tragically not the ones they had hoped for. But Heinrich's confession closed the chapter on a 30-year investigation that seemed like a long and dark movie the family could not wait to end. Sarah Payne. The story of Sarah Payne's disappearance proves that even the shortest walks can have the longest consequences. In July 2000, she and her siblings were playing near her grandparents' house in West Sussex, England, when she decided to take a break and head home alone. Her grandparents' home was just a few minutes away.
Oh, fuck. She decided to take a break and head home alone. Well, she was, wait, hold on.
In July 2000, she and her siblings were playing near her grandparents' house in West Sussex, England, when she decided to take a break and head.
They should have just, I don't know why the grandparents didn't just drive them home. What the hell? Who cares how, like, but the thing is, they're thinking, it's such a short walk. You wouldn't need someone to supervise you. When it comes to children, bro, you always gotta supervise them, man. I don't got kids myself, but I'm just saying, like, I know how, like, shit like this works, man. Not exactly, but, like, exactly. Because literally, you have to think about it like this. Anything can happen to this child, bro. Anything. You need to That's crazy because a lot of people they would do what the grandparents did. They would let their kids go away because it's like it's such a short walk. You're not thinking anything's gonna happen to them. That's tight crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Head home alone. Her grandparents' home was just a few minutes away, but that was all the time a kidnapper needed to snatch her. Sarah's disappearance alerted the police, sparking one of the biggest police investigations at the time. It involved hundreds of police officers and volunteers on a huge search that could put to shame any GPS tracker. When they found Sarah, it was in the most tragic state. Her
And title card. I'm not gonna lie, boys. I gotta go to work, but I will catch all tomorrow. Take it easy.